Hey y'all, welcome back. Glad to have you here today. I'm gonna plant a couple of containers. Again, we're starting a container series and I thought this would be the great way to start that. I always put together arrangements for my mom for Mother's Day, or at least buy her plants for Mother's Day. And this season I kind of wondered, why do I do that? Because she's not the best gardener. I love her, she's fantastic. She's the best mom, but not the best with plants. So I'm still going to put it together. I've put together some easy care plants that I think she'll really be able to take care of easily. Just water and she'll be good, and I can always pop up and fertilize when necessary. But I've picked out some things that I think she's really going to love, some things that will solve some problems for her. So I'm going to put two containers together today. The first one is a hanging basket. I know the hangers are not on here, they're just in the way, so I've put those off to the side. She does have a wire basket that she can actually slide this into, so she may not even need the hangers at all, which is fine. But if she needs to put them on, they just pop back on really easily, so no big deal. The other one is going to be for her porch, and we'll talk about that one in just a moment. So let me tell you what I've got here. The first one, now listen, my mom loves daisies. She loves daisies. It's her favorite flower. This is an African daisy called voltage white, and I love this flower because it's got a beautiful yellow tint underneath. We'll do some close-ups here so you can actually see that, but it's white on the inside. I love this flower. This will be our centerpiece in the arrangement. Now I do want to say this first off, I'm going to pack this completely full of flowers. Mainly because I want to create an effect with this arrangement. I want this to spill over. I know these are all upright plants that I've purchased, but the flowers grow in such a crazy, weird kind of way that I expect they're going to push themselves over the edge and they're going to start to kind of weep. Again, not a weeping plant at all, but I do expect that's the effect that we're going to get. And over the summer, that's really going to happen because we're going to keep these fertilized. They're going to really grow and they're going to be really pretty. The next one that I have here is a coreopsis. This is a dwarf coreopsis. This one doesn't get as large as most. Beautiful, beautiful yellow flower. And again, this has those crazy, weird stems that are really going to spill over and look really, really nice. The yellow goes really well with the underside of our flower as well for the African daisy. And then the last one that I've chosen is another African daisy, this one more in the yellow tone, completely yellow. The underside is just a little bit lighter than the rest, but again, this should give us that kind of weeping effect. I'm going to put this one a little bit more towards the back because I suspect this one's going to have a little bit more upright form than the others are going to, but still should give us a nice spillover. So let's get started. I've got just my regular potting soil here. Now, this is damp. I've moistened it up just a little bit, so it is a little bit damp. I'm going to add in our Proven Winners slow release fertilizer. This is going to keep them fed for several weeks to months. I love this stuff. We have to remember with our annual plants, they need food because they're producing so many flowers. They just have to have that. So we want to give them everything that they need to survive. So we're going to start them off really, really well. So we give them the Proven Winners. This is time released, and we'll feed them continuously as we go along. So really great fertilizer. This is a little bit harder to find, which I mentioned in the other video, but since this one's coming out, I want to talk about it here. A little bit hard to find. None of our local nurseries here in Virginia carry it. You may have the same problem with your local nurseries, but you can order this online very easily. I got this on Amazon. You can also order it from Proven Winners, and the prices are about the same. So really easy to find. We'll give these a weekly fertilize as well with a water-soluble liquid fertilizer. So we're going to start with our voltage white. I love this. Not root bound at all, so I'm not going to mess with moving these roots around. Whoops. Not going to mess with moving these roots around. And I'm going to pack this one right in the center. See how that's already spilling over? I love that. I love that effect. Tell you a little story. I bought my mom a hanging basket one year, and this is before I was really into plants the way that I am now. And it weeped. It was a daisy that just weeped. And I had no idea what it was. We didn't keep the tag. I've never been able to find it again. But I think these are gonna be the closest thing to that we're gonna find. So really excited about that. So let's go next with our backside plant. This is the, I didn't give you the name. This is the Ostrika Glamour African Daisy. Yeah, I don't know. I've already said I'm not great with pronunciations, so you're gonna have to get used to that as we go along. Yeah, this one, tiny bit ruby. I'm just gonna mess it up just a little bit. I'm gonna squish it down because our container's not incredibly tall, so I do have to squish down some of these root balls, and that's totally fine. They'll be just fine with that. All right, so we've put that one down in there. And then our last one is the Coreopsis, which again, this one's a little bit smaller, so I should be a little bit easier here with this one. And this one's called just Dwarf Coreopsis, no name on the color. And again, just gonna rough it up. See how that's bound together. We're just gonna mess that up just a little bit. And again, I do need to squish down this because the container is not quite tall enough. And I'm gonna show you here, I'm gonna put this out so that it's weeping down the side of the container. Just a little bit better look overall. And now, no, with any of these that you're placing in your containers, you don't have to place them straight up and down. I know a lot of people think that that's necessary. You don't. You can tilt your root balls. That's totally fine, and they will not even notice that you're doing it. They're gonna grow just as well. Beautiful. All right, already looking fantastic, but I feel like this is missing a little something. So let's see what else we've got. Got one more plant that I want to add here. So this is a sweet potato vine that I just happen to have. This is called Sidekick Lime Heart. That will give us a little bit more interest going over the side, which I think will be beautiful. So we're gonna add that right in here. I think that'll look really nice. Push this one over just a little bit. Thankfully, this is not a huge container. This is by Monrovia as well. I think I got this at Lowe's. Really easy to find. Now, sweet potato vines can get out of control. Be really careful with them. And they do require a lot of sun. So this is gonna be in a full sun area. And there you go, easy. Beautiful, beautiful arrangement here. These are gonna fill in really nicely and be really great for her. I think she'll really like those. All right, let's move on to our next one. This one again should be a really, really easy container to make. Another story about my mom, she loves hostas. Another of her favorite plants. She has one outside her front door that it tries to come back every year, and bless the hosta's heart, it really tries hard. It does come back every year, but I've already talked about the deer. Even with it being right up against the house, the deer get it every year, every single year. And I thought, well, let's give her one and put it in a container. That way we know it will stay alive. We know it'll be fine. So that's what I've done. So I have here the Shadowland Woo La La. Woo La La. This is a pretty large hosta. This is actually going to get up to 36 to 48 inches tall. So enormous. This will also live very well in a container. She can put it on her porch. They love the shade. They don't like the heat at all. So this is going to do really, really well for her. And she can move it on the porch away from the deer. That's the biggest thing. You don't have to sacrifice the plants that you want. If you have rodents or critters or anything that get in the way, you don't have to worry about that. Put it in a pot, put it away. If it's something that won't survive over winter, you can either use it as an annual plant or put it out in your landscape over the winter time. The deer aren't going to bother it then if the leaves are gone. So, and this one's been sitting under our wisteria that is now losing its blooms. So apologies, it's a little bit messy. All right, so we've also got a heuchera. Again, another beautiful, beautiful plant that will survive the shade. I planted one of these the other day here in a small garden we have, and she loved it, so I went ahead and got her one. This one's the Dolce Wildberry from Proven Winners again. This one gets 10 to 14 inches tall, and these are great landscape plants. These are also perennials. They will survive very well over the winter here. This one survives, let's see, we are zone 4 to 9, so down to negative 30 degrees. This will do just fine over winter. Again, this one will as well. No problem at all there. So I'm gonna add that in there for a little bit of color. And then the last one that I've got, I love these. These are the Proven Winners Rockapolco Wisteria color. And this purple is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this. Again, another shade lover. So you can place these in the shade. Now in the shade, they can get a little bit leggy. I've noticed with mine over the last couple of years, they get a little bit tall. Cut them back. I know you're gonna cut off blooms. It's not a big deal. They're gonna grow back out really well. So get rid of the top growth, let them push back out, and they'll be really, really pretty. So we're gonna add that for a little color as well. All right, so let's get planting. I'm gonna do this one just like the other one. I may need to add a little bit of dirt to this one. In fact, let me go ahead and do that. All right, so got my dirt topped off here. I'm gonna do this just like the other. Use a little bit of slow release fertilizer. Now you can also use biotone with these annuals. They'll work just fine. In fact, you don't necessarily need time release, but I want it for our Rockapolco so that it has plenty of food. All right, let's get potting. I'm gonna start with our hosta here. And I'm gonna place that toward the back. Just pushing the dirt up to the side of the container so that it's not completely against the edge. I'm gonna do this out here because it's gonna have a lot of stuff on the top. Look at that. These have prolific roots. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, here we go. Place that in the back. Nice and tight in there. No air pockets whatsoever with this. Just nice and comfy in there. All right, I think we're gonna do our heuchera next. I'll pull a little of the leaves off here on the bottom because they're a little junky. I love Mother's Day. You know, we don't give our moms enough credit for giving us what they give us, and my mom is amazing. My dad as well. We'll talk about him on Father's Day. Maybe we'll get him a treat. Mom is an amazing person. She's always full of laughter and joy, and I was just raised that way. You know, I was walking through the grocery store the other day and realizing that, now this one doesn't look too bad. I'm not gonna rough that up too much, maybe a little on the bottom, but it's not completely root bound. I was walking through the grocery store the other day and realizing nobody's smiling, and it made me really, really sad. I smile all the time. I think it's just a nice thing to do for everybody. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not difficult to do, and it makes people happy to see that. And you know, we don't do that often enough. I wish more people would smile the way that they should smile. It's just, I don't know. And I learned that from my mom. My mom has always taught me to be kind to people, no matter what. You don't know what other people are going through, but just a simple smile. It's not difficult to do. All right. Got that in there. Nice and tight, no air pockets. Oh, this looks great. I love those colors together. Look at that. Nice blooms here. These will continue to send up bloom stalks. They've got buds all inside as well. Beautiful. Just a little bit tighter. Perfect. All right, now to finish it off, we're gonna do our Rockapolco right in the front there. Actually, I'm kind of having a second thought here. I think because this one is so tall, I think we're gonna do that in the back. Now this is gonna fill out quite a bit. It's not gonna get to its mature height this year. It will not get to 36 inches this year with it being a new plant. Now it will get larger, but it won't get to that size. So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna do this. The joy of planting is you can take things apart. I know a lot of people think, oh gosh, I've done this, it's done. I can't fix it. Incorrect. You absolutely can. All right, so let's put this in the back here. I am gonna take a little bit of soil off of this one. Let's put it in the pot here. Again, not root bound at all, but I just wanna knock a little of the dirt off so that I have a little more room in my container. Now, every plant has a front and a back. Not because they grow that way, but just the way that they look. This one's flat in the back, so I'm gonna put it flat side to the back. Nice and tight in there. Get our soil around, pack it in real good. Beautiful. All right, and now we're gonna put our heuchera in the front. I think that was a good change and worth the time to make it. Oh, much better, much better. I really like that. Beautiful. Look at that. I love that. That is so nice. This is gonna fill out a little bit more. This hosta is gonna just grow and grow and grow. Now, if the hosta gets out of control, because it's gonna be fertilized, if it doesn't get out of control, we'll pop this out. No big deal. Another beautiful thing about container growing is you can change them up as often as you like. You can make as many changes as you like. Plants are so resilient. I think I've said it in another video. I don't know if it'll be posted yet, but they're much more resilient than we are. So I hope you've enjoyed our video today. I hope you get out there and do something really nice for your mom, whether it's planting up a nice container for her, getting a hanging basket from your local garden store. Just do something nice for her because she deserves it. So we hope you've enjoyed the video today. If you're new here, please give us a subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. We want to bring you great content. It's going to get better and better and better as we go, I promise. We're learning as we go along. Michael is doing all of our editing, and I'm going to be on camera for the majority of the time, which you may get tired of, so that may change. That may change as well. I know you're going to probably want to see him too, so we'll bring him on camera if I can convince him to do so. That's it for today. Again, please give us a like and a subscribe. Hope you've enjoyed watching. We've got more containers coming and some other projects as well. So hope to see you in the next one. Bye.